What's up, everybody? It is April 7th, what's known as Good Friday. My personal opinion, every Friday is Good Friday. Sitting here chomping on some Haribo Gold gummy bears, which is my all-time favorite, which is probably anybody, best gummy bears on the planet, face of earth, period. I always like to open them up upside down because the buns on the bottom are always the best. Anyway, let's get to it. Easter Sunday is coming up. There was a show in Houma at the East Park Recreation Center. Ran by, I want to say the people who ran it was Kevin Northcutt and John Saxon. I know they had the book. I don't know exactly. I can't remember the promotion's name to save my life. Somebody called me and said, hey, somebody might not be making it. Come in as a standby. So I got my gear, got my stuff together, threw it in my truck, drove 40 minutes to Houma, hopefully being a standby. Look, when you, just like any other business, when you're trying to get your foot in the door places, you do anything, try to do anything, as much as possible, do anything you can to get your foot in the door. So that's what I did. I went down there, had a good time with the guys in the locker room. Didn't get to make the card, but was still satisfied at the connections I made. Went to the after party. There was always an after party. Anytime anybody ran in Houma, there was usually an after party. And some of those after parties got pretty wild that we can go on about in another story. After party story. That's going to be another one. But there was an after party. And everybody was sitting around drinking. At that time, I really didn't drink much. I really didn't. So I probably didn't. Maybe had a beer or two, but somehow John Saxon and Irresistible Danielle got stranded, and their ride. I can't remember exactly what happened with their ride or their car or something, but Saxon lived around Biloxi, Mississippi, and they were stranded. So me being the person that I am was like, get in my truck, I'll bring you to Biloxi. So now granted, I live in the New Orleans area. So I took him and Irresistible Danielle all the way back to his apartment in the surrounding area of Biloxi the night before Easter. So it's midnight. We leaving, I think it was past midnight, we leaving Houma to bring him home. A good 3.5 hour drive from Houma. And I've got 2 young girls at home, expecting Easter the next day. We bought some things for them, but we were supposed to, I was going to stop on the way home and at the 24-hour Walmart and get them more things because, granted, just like your kids, my kids are spoiled rotten and they want more. And if they don't have more, they cry, piss, and moan, just like they do as adults today. They still spoil rotten. Anyway, enough about that. So this is what I did. I took them all the way to Biloxi. We had a good conversation on the way there. On the way back, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, I stopped at the Walmart in Elmwood and buy my girls more stuff because it's never enough. And got home probably about 7 o'clock that morning, and about 7:15 they woke up. Sacrifices, people. You make sacrifices for things you want to do, and then you have a home life. This is what we've done. This is what we've done for years. Get home at 7 o'clock in the morning, your kids wake up at 7:15, 7:30, and you get 20 minutes of sleep and drink a bunch of coffee and go about your day. You'll sleep when you die. It's pretty much how it was. It is. Still is today. But that was it. Another occasion, the day before Easter, Big Joe, Joe Marlboro, Big Vito, he called himself. Big Joe. Yeah, everybody knows Big Joe. He decided to have a barbecue at his house for the boys and some of the boys in the business. And a bunch of the guys showed up at his house. Me, Stan Sweetan, Big Daddy D, Steve Anthony, Hell, a lot of guys showed up at his house to have a barbecue. It was like set for noon. At 5 o'clock, all the food was gone because we were a bunch of fat asses. And 7 come around and we still hungry. So we're like, all right, what we doing? We still hungry. Let's go eat. So 20 of us piling all our vehicles. And if you know Big Joe, you know it's either Hooters or it's Cuco's, Mexican restaurant that was hooked on to Southland Mall in Houma. So we all decided to go to Cuco's. And to this day, my kids still mess with DJ about how he used to call fajitas fajitas. But there was about 20 baskets of free salsa and chips in front of us. So during the day that day, Stan Sweetan and I, we used to give DJ hell when he was a kid. Probably about 16, 17 years old. But even earlier than that, he was scared to death of me. And one day, his dad wanted me to come over for the pay-per-view. Big Daddy D wanted me to come over for a pay-per-view to his house. I drove down there on a Sunday for a pay-per-view and scared the living bejesus out of DJ because he was scared to death of me when I showed up. But what was funny was we used to give him hell. We used to hold him down, basically make him say uncle. We bullied him when he was a kid. We really did. We had fun with him. And to this day, this is why he's got a shitty attitude against all of us, because we created that monster. But anyway, we were messing with him in the yard, beating the hell, holding him down, tickling him, doing whatever we were doing. Apparently, a $100 bill fell out of his pocket. Stan Sweetan picked it up. Didn't tell me anything about it until we got to Cuco's. He's like, you see this $100 bill? This fell out of DJ's pocket. I'm like, give it back to him. It's his. He goes, nope. We're going to spend it. All right. So we went walking the mall. Passed by the Easter Bunny. Waved at the Easter Bunny. We went to Sports Avenue, which is a sporting goods store in the mall. I bought an LSU hat, and he bought some other kind of hat. We spent about $40 to $50 of that boy's $100 bills money. It'll teach him a lesson to not carry a $100 bill on him around us. Yeah, lesson. I got a free LSU hat out of it. I don't care. So, on our way back to Cuco's, walking through the mall, the Easter Bunny is sitting on his little throne, and there's maybe 10 people in the mall. It's 8 o'clock at night, the Saturday night before Easter. The Easter Bunny's sitting there because he's taking pictures with the kids. There's only 10 people in the mall. He's not taking pictures with anybody. He's just sitting there, falling asleep in his drunken state. Probably smells like cheese and wine. But anyway, we point at him. You, come with us. His little ears are flopping no. We look at him. Easter Bunny, come with us. You coming with us. Take a break. You coming with us. He goes, said, listen, we in Cuco's. We have about 10 kids in there that's going to light up when you walk in that door. He's like, we're not break character. We're not talked. Talk to us. So we said, look, if you don't get your ass up, we're going to make you get up. This is me and Stan Sweetan threatening the freaking Easter Bunny. We thought we were going to jail. We grab the Easter Bunny, pick him up, bring him to Cuco's. As we walk into Cuco's, we grab we each grab an arm and we skip into Cuco's. Like 3 little girls skipping down the street into Cuco's. I thought everybody at the table was going to lose their free chips and salsa. It was the funniest thing to this day that still stands out in my mind of me and Stan Sweetan skipping hand in hand with the Easter Bunny into Cuco's, but it lit the kids up, and that's all that matters to us. The kids went nuts. So, come to find out later on, that $100 bill that fell out of DJ's pocket was the $100 bill that he owed Stan Sweetan to begin with. So we spent $50 of his money that he owed him for some t-shirts. So the rib was actually on us, well, on Stan, which was the funniest thing ever. But But yeah, that's my Easter stories. We had a blast. It was fun. Went from one extreme to another with these two stories. Man, I'm having a blast doing these. Last weekend, I got to go to Gulf State Wrestling for Mustang and be a special guest commissioner, shot caller, matchmaker for that night. And man, I had an absolute blast. Big shout out to Mustang Mike for giving me that opportunity. I had a blast. It took all it had in me, and he was trying to reel me into that ring. But it took everything in me not to punch somebody in the face or headbutt somebody. But I did it. I'm sticking to my guns. I'm done. I'm having a blast doing what I'm doing now. And hopefully y'all like this video, comment on it. Please share it. I want to get more followers. If you're watching it, share it. Thank you. Y'all have a good and safe Easter. Peace.